What's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and I wanted to talk to you about this whole publisher Penguin Random House thing going on with Dungeons and Dragons. A lot of people are freaking out over this, and I don't think it's as big a deal as many of people are making it out to be. Don't get me wrong, I understand people not trusting and not liking whatever WotC's doing. They have reason to, right? January's not so far behind us that we've forgotten entirely what happened. But in this particular instance, I think I don't want to use nothing burger because I feel like that has like a negative connotation to it. There's something there, but I don't think it's going to be as impactful. And for those of you who missed out, was it a month ago? I feel like people only started talking about it a couple days ago, but about a month ago, this article came out, Dungeons and Dragons titles available through Wizards of the Coast distributors. And the main kind of thing that's quoted as being the big issue here is this statement here. Effective January 1, 2024, Penguin Random House LLC, one of the largest book producers out there, is ceasing distribution of D&D titles from Wizards of the Coast. Moving forward, you'll be able to order your D&D titles directly from one of our approved distributors. And I feel like what people saw this as immediately were like, oh, WotC's taking all books out of local bookstores. Basically, you won't be able to get this at something like a Barnes & Noble or any other kind of bookstore. It's only available through like direct through WotC. And then it goes on to state in literally the next sentence, to place an order for your store, simply visit our distributor page and select your preferred distributor and use the provided contact information and give them a call. For any questions concerning your current distribution through Penguin Random House, please contact your Penguin Random House rep or Penguin Random House customer service. For questions regarding distribution of D&D titles beginning January 1st, please reach out to our distributors. So if you were to click that distributor list, you'll see that it does have a list of a handful of different distributors here. We have Alliance East, Alliance Midwest, Alliance Southwest, Alliance West. I think some of these are comic distributor companies. We have Diamond, and then we have GTS distribution, and you can see there's a variety of different locations for these, right? It lists where they're located. And then we have Magazine Exchange as well. Peach State Hobby Distribution. We have Southern Hobby Distribution. So there's a handful of different distributors listed here who would possibly be able to get that to you. Now, I didn't want to comment on this too much because I didn't fully understand it, but recently an article was released on, which was released yesterday from the folks at comicbook.com, and I felt like this kind of sums up exactly what my thoughts were, but might help make it a little clearer for people who had questions. It says, Penguin Random House will no longer distribute D&D books after this year. Earlier this week, Penguin Random House informed hobby store retailers that it was ending distribution of D&D books as of December 31st, 2023. The rulebooks will still be available through hobby stores through the following distributors: Diamond, GTS Alliance, and PhD, some of those ones we just listed, but many were worried about the impact that the distribution change-up would have on D&D place at book and mass retailers, meaning places Target, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, those places that you can get those books at now, which you previously could not several years back. There was also some question about whether Penguin Random House would continue to work on licensed titles with Wizards of the Coast, just such as the just-released Lore and Legends book. According to Wizards of the Coast, the change in distribution strategy is due to Wizards seeking to utilize its parent company, Hasbro, to sell D&D products directly to retailers. Per a statement provided by Wizards of the Coast to comicbook.com, the change in distribution won't impact fans, as Dungeons & Dragons products will continue to be found at their preferred retailers. Additionally, Wizards of the Coast confirmed to comicbook.com that it will continue to partner with Penguin Random House on licensed D&D titles in the future. So it's not doom and gloom. It's not like the end of the world. I realize, again, that a lot of us were looking for reasons to not be the happiest with what WotC's doing. And honestly, just look at the survey results for Playtest 6. I think that'll do it for you. But either way, it says the full statement from Wizards of the Coast is as follows. Penguin Random House is a valued partner and publishing licensee of Wizards of the Coast. While we deeply appreciate the excellent service provided over the years by Penguin Random House, PS, I guess, publishing, I don't know, whatever, we are shifting our distribution strategy to utilize the capabilities of Hasbro to sell and distribute D&D products to retailers. And we will continue to partner with Penguin Random House on licensed D&D titles like the recently released Lore and Legends and the upcoming Heroes Feast Flavors of the Multiverse. This change to distribution of Wizards D&D role-playing game publications such as rulebooks and adventure content won't affect fans, as they will continue to find D&D products at their preferred retailers. While looking into the story, several retailers who declined to be named for this article noted that Hasbro has existing accounts and relationships at big box retailers such as Target and Barnes & Noble, and that this distribution shift could allow for more prominent placement of D&D products at those stores. Well, some game stores use Penguin Random House to obtain D&D products because of a better return policy or more generous wholesale price. Others use their hobby game distributor accounts due to either ease of use or because of a better relationship with that distributor. When news of the distribution agreement first broke, some older D&D fans recalled a previous breakup between original D&D publisher TSR and Random House, which was under vastly different circumstances, but is often pointed to as one of the major incidents leading to TSR's bankruptcy. So ultimately, if we read this article, it doesn't seem like it seems for like licensed titles, like again, the cookbooks, like these sort of lore and legend books and stuff like that. We're not really going to see any change. Penguin Random House will still produce those. But for in-house adventure books and supplements and things like that, like all the books that were released recently, Big Bees, Fandelver, Planescape, that kind of stuff, those will now be, instead of being put kind of, I don't want to say a middleman because that's the wrong term, but basically right now, WotC would go to Penguin Random House, and then Penguin Random House would do the distribution to all of the game stores and things like that. Instead of that, WotC is removing them and then going directly through Hasbro, which is their parent company, directly to the various retailers, is what it sounds like to me, right? Our distribution strategy to utilize the capabilities of Hasbro to sell and distribute D&D products to retailers. So that's kind of the ultimate thing, but they are stating themselves the change to distribution of Wizards D&D role-playing product, such as rulebooks and adventure content, won't affect fans as they'll continue to find D&D products at their preferred retailers. Now, I want to read this section again about like the big box stores because that was where people had a lot of concern. So while looking into this story, several retailers who declined to be named for this article noted that Hasbro has existing accounts and relationships at big box retailers such as Target and Barnes & Noble. That makes sense. Hasbro sells toys primarily, and Target has a toy section. Barnes & Noble has a smaller toy section as well. And that this distribution shift could allow for more prominent placement of D&D products at stores. So this I could agree with. This is basically saying right now, Penguin Random House kind of has they can send all the products to things like Target and Barnes & Noble, and they kind of have a section kind of dedicated because it's like the book section. And it says game stores use Penguin Random House, meaning like hobby stores, because of a better return policy or a more generous wholesale price, which that may be true. Again, I'll never know. I don't own a game store, so I can't make those decisions. But essentially what they're saying is they'll get better deals on the product as opposed to now they're going to have to go through WotC and Hasbro Direct. And because of the relationship that Hasbro has at a larger instance with Target and Barnes & Noble, Hasbro can basically say, hey, let's leverage that to get D&D more prominently placed in your stores. But honestly, I mean, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. But ultimately, I think what it comes down to is it's not the end of the world. The D&D books are not disappearing from your local game stores. They're not going to be disappearing from Target and Barnes & Noble. In fact, they might be showing up more more prominently within those stores. But the other side of it is, like, obviously we know Dungeons and Dragons has grown significantly in size. But if I'm thinking of something like a Target, like a more general retail store, putting D&D more prominently displayed in a store like that, how many more people is it going to pull in I don't know, maybe more than I think. But for the most part, I feel like most people going to like Target and doing their shopping aren't going to be like, oh, Dungeons and Dragons, that's there, let me go pick it up. It's just like it'll be placed on an end cap as opposed to on like a back wall. But I don't know. I'll put both links to both of these articles in the description down below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on them. Am I missing something? Is there, again, if you're a retailer, you own a game store, maybe you can provide a little more insight down in the comments. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.